This is Top Accolade Global News Updates. I am Soibifa Jagridge. Indonesia shut a provincial airport and evacuated hundreds of people from the vicinity of the Ruang volcano after it belched explosive plumes of lava, rocks, and ash for days. Officials said on Thursday, declaring the highest alert on the situation. Wednesday's dramatic eruption of the volcano on a remote island is the province of North Sulawesi through a fiery red volume of lava, incandescent rock, and ash as much as 3 kilometers, that is 2 miles, into the sky. Purple flashes of lightning rent the sky above the eruption volcano. Videos on social media showed more than 800 people were evacuated from the area, with authorities widening the evacuation zone further after the volcanology agency raised the alert status. The agency had also received reports that falling rocks and ash damaged homes and forced a nearby hospital to evacuate. The official said transport authorities shut the airport in the provincial capital of Manado to protect against the showers of ash from the eruption. Budget airline Air Asia cancelled flights with non-airports in East Malaysia and Brunei after aviation authorities warned of a safety threat. Officials have condoned an area of 6 kilometers, that is 4 miles, around the volcano and are evacuating more residents. Some from the neighboring island of Tagulandang, said Abdul Mohari, spokesperson of the Disaster Mitigation Agency. About 1,500 of those in high-risk area needed to be immediately evacuated, he added, while almost 12,000 more stand to be affected. Venezuela's loss of a key U.S. license that allowed it to export oil to markets around the world and secure investment is expected to hit the volume and quality of its crude and fuel sales, while prompting a flurry of requests for individual U.S. deal authorizations. U.S. officials had warned that absent progress by President Nicolas Maduro's administration on implementing an electoral roadmap agreed last year, the U.S. would not renew License 44, which since October has eased oil sanctions in place for the last 5 years. On Wednesday, the Treasury gave companies 45 days to wind down pending transactions, particularly crude and fuel sales, through a more restrictive license. It also said it would process specific authorization requests for business with Venezuela, a commitment Venezuelan officials said they expect the U.S. to honor. Many companies have waited for years to have energy deals involving Venezuela approved by Washington, but the Treasury also explained that entering into new business, including new investments that was previously authorized under License 44, will not be considered wind-down activity, casting doubt on what type of transactions will be allowed. Authorizations previously granted to oil firms, including Chevron, Repsol, and Eni, were not withdrawn, which secures Venezuela oil flows to the United States and Europe. The United Arab Emirates was still grappling on Thursday with the aftermath of a record-breaking storm this week that brought much of the country to a standstill. In Dubai, operations at the airport, a major travel hub, remained disrupted after Tuesday's storm flooded the runway, resulting in flight diversions, delays, and cancellations. The airport said on Thursday morning it had resumed receiving inbound flights at Terminal 1 used by foreign carriers, but the flight continued to be delayed and disrupted. Emirates, the single largest carrier at the airport, said it would resume checking in passengers in Dubai at 9 a.m. on Thursday, delaying the restart from midnight by 9 hours. The airport struggled to get food to stranded passengers, with nearby roads blocked by flood waters and because of overcrowding limited access to those who had confirmed bookings. The storm, which hit neighboring Oman on Sunday, pounded the UAE on Tuesday, flooding roads and causing hours-long gridlock as rainwater won inundated homes. One person was reported dead in the UAE and 20 in Oman. Flooding trapped residents in traffic, offices, and homes as the UAE recorded its heaviest rains in the 75 years that records have been kept, authorities said. Authorities have also told government employees and students to stay home while waterlogged roads are cleared. Climate experts say rising temperatures caused by human-led climate change are leading to more extreme weather events around the world, such as the storm that struck the UAE and Oman. Researchers anticipate that climate change will lead to heightened temperatures, increased humidity, and a greater risk of flooding in part of the Gulf region. The problem can be worsened in countries like the UAE, where there is a lack of drainage infrastructure to cope with heavy rains. Finnish telecom gear maker Nokia reported a smaller than expected rise in quarterly profits on Thursday as sluggish demand for 5G gear in key markets North America and India continued to weigh on sales. A fall in demand for 5G equipment in North America, the largest market for Nokia and Swedish rival Ericsson, and market share losses in China have forced both to temper expectations and lay off thousands of employees to shed costs. First quarter operating profits, excluding certain items of income and expenses and helped by cost cuts, was 597 million euros, up from a 479 million year earlier, as constant currency sales fell 19%. Four analysts polled by LSEG said had on average forecast a 663 million euro profits. Nokia's share reversed costs were up 1.5% as of 0801 GMT, having fallen 3% earlier. In a note to clients, JP Morgan, analysts say Nokia's weak sales trends caused the earning miss, but added the company is well positioned for a recovery. CEO Lon Mack said an improvement in orders seen late last year continued in the first quarter despite persistent challenges in the markets. The mobile network segment, which books order for 5G gear, saw local currency sales tumble 37% in the quarter, which Nokia said marked a low point this year, and it expects a recovery in the remainder of 2024. Nokia in January already forecast a demand recovery in the second half of 2024. Ericsson on Tuesday said its sales would normalize in the second half. Sales at the network infrastructure division fell 26%, measured in local currencies as well as nets. European Union leaders decided on Wednesday to step up sanctions against Iran after Tehran's missile and drone attack on Israel left world powers scrambling to prevent a wider conflict in the Middle East. The summit in Brussels and the first meeting of the EU's 27 national leaders since Saturday's attack, more than 6 months into the war between Israel and the Iran-backed Palestinian militant group Hamas. Israel has signaled it will retaliate but has not said how. EU leaders condemned the Iranian attack, reaffirmed their commitment to Israel's security, and called on all sides to prevent more tensions, including in Lebanon. "We feel it's very important to do everything to isolate Iran," said summit chairman Charles Michel, adding the new sanctions against the Islamic Republic would target companies involved in the production of drones and missiles. Germany Chancellor Olaf Scholz said it was important that Israel does not respond with a massive attack of its own. Italy spoke separately ahead of G7 talks in favor of sanctions against arms suppliers linked to the attack against Israel, as well as those behind attacks on ships in the Red Sea. Iran launched its assault in response to an April 1st strike on its embassy in Damascus, which it blamed on Israel. Tel Aviv started its broader military offensive in Gaza after Hamas's deadly attack on Israel on October 7th. That is the size of top accolade global news updates. You can follow us on our social media platforms as displayed on your screen. Happy Thursday.